All right, ready for a deep dive. Today, we're exploring self-exploration. Getting to know ourselves better.
Sounds fun.
It is. And we're using journaling prompts as our tools.
Ooh, I like where this is going. Journaling prompts can be powerful.
Absolutely. Our source material today is a blog post.
Okay.
It's called 50 Self-Exploration Journal Prompts.
Catchy title.
Right. It's from Lestallion,
Yeah.
the company that sells those fancy journals.
Oh, yeah, I've seen their stuff.
It's kind of funny, right? They're giving away prompts, but also they want you to buy their journals to use them.
Yeah, smart marketing.
Totally.
Yeah.
But hey, we're here for the prompts themselves, right?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of potential there for some real self-discovery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if, one question helped you uncover some childhood memory that explains your whole career path?
That would be pretty amazing.
Right. Or helps you find a core value you didn't even realize was driving your decisions.
I love that, little keys to unlock hidden parts of ourselves.
Yes. And these Lestallion prompts are organized really well. They're in 5 categories: past, present, values, goals, and future.
Ooh, I like that structure.
Me too. Yeah, it seems like a natural progression, right?
Totally. You start by understanding your past, then ground yourself in the present, then figure out your values.
Yeah.
And then use those insights to set goals and think about your future.
It's holistic, like a roadmap for personal growth.
I love that. A roadmap.
Okay, let's unpack this roadmap, starting with the past prompts. One that really stood out to me was, what's one childhood memory that shaped who I am today?
Interesting one.
Right. It goes on to ask, what did it teach me and how does it influence my choices now?
That's deep.
It is. And it reminded me this time when I was about 8 years old.
Oh.
My family went to the Natural History Museum.
Cool.
I was completely fascinated by the dinosaur exhibit. I mean, totally mesmerized.
I can imagine.
It sparked this huge curiosity in me about the natural world.
Wow.
And honestly, I think that experience back then really played a role in my fascination with science and research today.
That's a great example of how a seemingly small childhood event can have such a huge impact later in life.
Right. And sometimes those experiences shape us without us even realizing it.
Exactly. That's why prompts like this are so powerful, I think. They help us examine those early influences.
It's like being a detective, in a way.
It is. Uncovering hidden patterns and connecting the dots between our past and present.
I love that analogy.
There's actually a psychological theory that supports this idea.
Great.
It's called the attachment theory. It suggests that our early relationships, especially with our caregivers, have a big impact on how we develop emotionally, even how we form relationships as adults.
Wow. So even those past prompts, they can tap into some pretty deep stuff.
They really can. It's fascinating.
Okay, let's move on to the present prompts. One that jumped out at me was, what's one thing I love about myself today?
Nice.
Right. And then, how can I nurture it, make it shine even brighter?
Love that. We could all use a little more self-love.
Totally. Sometimes it's easy to forget to appreciate our awesomeness in the middle of, life.
Oh, true.
This prompt, though, it reminds us to celebrate our strengths.
It is. And to acknowledge the things that make us unique and, valuable.
Absolutely. It's like giving ourselves permission to be proud of who we are.
And there's this whole concept called self-compassion, too. It's about being kind to ourselves, just like we'd be kind to a friend.
I like that. It's not just about feeling good. It's about having a healthy relationship with ourselves.
Exactly. And that self-compassion, it can really help us grow. When we recognize and appreciate our strengths, we're more likely to, use them.
Makes sense.
It does. Okay, I'm curious, have you ever used journaling prompts for self-exploration?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There was this one time I was facing a tough career decision. I felt completely stuck.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I turned to some journaling prompts. I was hoping they'd help me figure out my values and what was really important to me.
That makes sense. So how'd it go? Any aha moments?
I did. I realized that one of my core values is autonomy. I really need the freedom to make my own choices,
That's interesting.
There's a big realization. And it helped me eliminate some career paths that just felt too restrictive.
Good for you.
Thanks. And in the end, it led me to a path that just felt much more, me.
That's amazing. It's like the prompts helped you connect with a part of yourself that was already there, but maybe a little hidden.
Exactly. That's the cool thing about self-exploration. It's not about creating something new. It's about discovering what's already inside us.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm ready to keep exploring these Lestallion prompts. Let's dive into the values, goals, and future categories.
Me too. But first, how about we grab a quick coffee? We'll be back in a flash.
Sounds good to me. Okay, back to the Lestallion prompts. We did past, we did present.
Right. Now it's values time.
Values. The guiding principles that, like, make us who we are.
Deep stuff. This is where things get interesting.
They do. One prompt here that's really good is, what are 3 values that are, like, non-negotiable for me?
Non-negotiable. I like that.
Right. And then it asks, how do they show up in my daily life? It makes you think.
It's like you're drawing a line, saying this is what matters to me. But then life happens.
Oh, yeah. Life throws curveballs, and our values get tested.
Exactly. And that's where the next prompt is so helpful. It asks, describe a time I had to make a difficult decision.
No, tough one.
Did my actions align with my values? What did I learn? It's not about beating ourselves up over the past, though.
No, it's about reflecting, seeing how our values actually guide us, even when things are hard.
And that's where we grow, right?
Exactly. It's realizing we're not perfect and using those experiences to, like, really understand what matters most.
Okay, on to goals now. We've got our values. We want to put them into action.
Totally. And these prompts are smart. They get that setting goals isn't just about, achieving something.
It's deeper than that.
It is. It's about living a life that feels, real, authentic to you.
This prompt makes that connection so clear. What is one goal I'm working towards right now?
Love that one.
How does it connect to my values and my overall vision for my life? Not just checking things off a to-do list.
No, it's bigger. It's creating a life that really resonates with, like, your core self.
I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
They taste goals that don't actually make them happy.
It happens. But when your goals are based on your values, that's when things change.
They become more than just tasks.
Exactly. They're expressions of who you are, what you believe in.
Your values fuel your goals.
Beautifully said. Okay, ready for future? This is where things get exciting.
Future. Time travel time. But honestly, thinking about the future is kind of scary too.
I get it. It's a big unknown. But these prompts aren't about, like, predicting the future exactly.
That's good.
They're about possibilities, hopes, dreams, and using those to guide us. NOW.
Okay, that's less intimidating. What prompt here really gets you thinking?
This one. Imagine my ideal day 10 years from now.
10 years.
What am I doing? Who am I with? How do I feel? It paints such a vivid picture.
Like a movie in your mind.
Totally. And what's wild is just imagining that future can change what we do today.
Wow.
If we have that clear picture of where we want to be, we're more likely to make decisions that, lead us there.
Of future selves, sending us messages.
Right. And this next prompt builds on that. It asks, if I could give my future self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Giving advice to ourselves across time.
Exactly. It's like tapping into the wisdom we have now and, planting seeds that we hope will grow.
It's like we become our own mentors.
Yes. And it shows how powerful self-reflection can be. Through these prompts, we're not just exploring past, present, future.
We're connecting more deeply with, ourselves.
Exactly. So as we wrap up these Lestallion prompts, what's the big takeaway you want listeners to remember?
This. Self-exploration. It's not a one-time thing. It's a journey. It's about understanding ourselves, our strengths, the things we want to work on, and making a life that feels real and meaningful.
I love that. And these prompts are just tools, right? The real magic comes from you, your curiosity, your willingness to, like, dive in and explore.
So what will you discover today?
Grab your journal, find a quiet spot.
And let the exploration begin. All right, we've journeyed through the past, we've explored the present, figured out our values, and even set some awesome goals.
Now, it's all about the future.
Right. With Lestallion's prompts as our trusty guide, we've reached the final frontier, the future.
The future, it's like this wide open space full of possibilities where dreams can, take off.
I'm feeling a mix of excitement and, I gotta admit, a little nervousness.
I hear you. The future can be kind of daunting. It's a big unknown, right?
It is.
Yeah.
But these prompts, they're not about, predicting the future with 100% accuracy.
No, not at all. They're about exploring those possibilities, tapping into what we hope for, what we dream about, and then letting those visions guide us, like right now, in the present.
Okay, that makes me feel a little braver. So which future prompt here really stands out to you?
This one always gets me thinking, what is one thing I can do today to bring me closer to my ideal future?
Interesting.
It's a good reminder that building the future we want, it's not about some big, huge action. It's about the small steps we take each day.
Love that. Little
Yeah.
by little, those actions add up, right?
Exactly. They shape our lives over time. We have more power than we realize to create our own destiny.
It's like we're weaving a tapestry, thread by thread, making something beautiful and unique.
What a great way to put it. And speaking of journeys, there's another prompt that really speaks to me. It says, imagine looking back on your life from the age of 80. What stories do you want to be able to tell?
Wow.
It makes you think about your life as a whole. Like, what kind of narrative are you creating?
It's like we're the authors of our own stories.
We are. Do we want a story full of adventure, purpose, deep connections, or, one with regrets, missed chances, unfulfilled potential?
No one wants that.
Right. And that's where journaling is so powerful. It gives you that space to explore all those possibilities, to try out different storylines until you find one that feels like true to you.
So to everyone listening, we invite you to join us on this journey. Grab your journal, find a quiet spot.
And let these Lestallion prompts guide you as you, really dive deep into who you are.
Explore your past, own your present, and dream up a future that's full of purpose, passion, and all those amazing possibilities.
And hey, be kind to yourself along the way.
Right. Self-exploration, it can be tough sometimes, but it's all about loving and growing ourselves.
Celebrate what makes you awesome. Embrace those imperfections. Trust that you have everything you need inside you to create an amazing life.
That wraps up our deep dive into self-exploration. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep discovering, and keep shining.